Going to wish the kids good night. Rach?
Yeah?
Where are you?
Here.
Here.
Oh, hello.
You alright?
That's me, aged 8.
Bye.
And that's my dad behind the camera.
What do you want to say to me?
Goodbye, Daddy. I love you.
Yeah? You're going to miss me. I'm going to miss you as well.
I knew what Dad going away meant.
I don't want you to go, Daddy.
Oh no, Rach.
Dad was a boxer. In fact, he was once heavyweight champion of the world.
Hello Laura, darling, and hello Nicola and Rachel. I love you very much. I'll be coming home soon, darling.
Are you ready to order at all? Or a bit longer? Yeah, sure, it's fine.
I'm 26 now, and my name is Rachel Bruno.
My dad used to be a boxer, Frank Bruno. Yeah. Half the time people don't believe me, they think I'm lying. I think they probably think, why do you work in a restaurant? Some people do look down their noses at me sometimes, but I don't really care.
In his day, my dad was a national hero.
Is this the champion's belt?
I'll never take it off, Nolan. You know what I mean, Harry?
Then, it all went wrong. In the space of a few years, he went from world champion to patient in a psychiatric hospital.
Is he alright?
Yeah, he's doing good, yeah. He's getting better. It's hard illness to cope with as a family, because it does break up a family.
People think they know my dad, but they've no idea. Dad's bipolar disorder has devastated our family. Now I want to understand the illness that's taken him from me and try to find the dad I once knew.
Hello?
Hi, Dad.
Hello, Rach, you alright?
Yeah, just let you know, we just left, so hopefully we won't be that long.
Alright, no problem, Rach. Just drive carefully. Don't worry about the time. Just drive carefully, yeah?
Yeah, no, I will do.
Alright, see you later, Rach.
Okay, see you soon, Dad. Bye.
Bye, darling. Bye. Bye.
My dad has bipolar disorder, which means that his moods can swing from manic highs to terrible lows. He was sectioned twice last year and taken into psychiatric care against his wishes. He's been out a couple of months now and is back home and on medication to keep him stable.
Thing is, it's hard because he doesn't live round the corner, so I can't keep an eye on him. I just hope he's still, taking the medication and he knows that he's got to get better, really. I think he knows. It worries me because I don't really talk about my dad's illness with him.
This is the first time I've been to Dad's house in over a year.
Go on.
Thank you.
Make yourself at home.
Thank you.
You want a cup of tea or something?
I'd love one, please. Have you been going gym?
No, I haven't been, not this week.
Have you lost your, motivation?
No, not lost my motivation, just can't be bothered.
Can't be bothered.
Who takes sugar?
Yes, please. Thank you. How are you feeling? You feeling better?
Better, what do you mean better?
Just better in yourself?
Yeah. What, don't I look better?
No, you do. I think you look really well.
Okay.
I think you look really, really well.
You look nervous, what's the matter with you?
Well, I don't know, because obviously from doing this programme, I'm grateful that you're letting me do it, because it is, we don't really...
Sorry?
I'm grateful to you for letting me, go ahead and doing this and filming such... Because it is private, isn't it? We don't really you don't really talk about it to the public too much, about your illness, and I've been getting quite anxious about it.
Hey, don't worry about the public, just chill out and relax yourself, girl. Ask what questions you want to ask.
I know, as long as I don't upset you, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Don't worry about upsetting me. I keep busy all the time, clean up the house, dust up, mop, hoover, do bits and pieces.
And you think that helps you, yeah?
Well, it's good for me.
What programme are you on with the doctors at the moment?
What do you mean, what programme?
Medication, are you still, what?
Yeah, I'm taking medication. I'm not too sure what the medication is, but I am on medication, yeah.
Do they have to come? Do they come round, or do you have to go to them?
No, they come round.
Have you got a nice team of doctors, or they?
They're very intrusive, very nosy.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know why they got to give you all this powerful medication for, you know what I mean? That's my... I'm trying to get off the medication, Rach.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like a zombie for the rest of my life.
I do worry about you. I don't like you being this far out on your own. But I suppose you like it.
There's a reason why I come this far.
Surprised you haven't got any animals here, a dog or something.
Animals?
Do you want one?
No, I don't want a dog. What am I a dog for?
Dog is a man's best friend.
Is it?
Yeah?
Nah. You look after yourself, yeah?
Thank you, Dad.
Cheers, nice one. Drive safely, carefully.
I will.
Yeah?
I think he handled it well today. All of last year, we haven't really had a relationship, so our relationship is strained, and it's weird going round there and talking about his illness and stuff. I found it a bit awkward at times, because he's still in a fragile state, so I don't want to tip him.
Comes out wicked, doesn't it?
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, let's do some of me and Rach.
Is it filming at the moment?
It's fresh,
How
yeah.
young Dad looks.
He was young though.
Did he get this camera for Christmas?
No, he just got it this Christmas. He discharged it up. I think this is the Christmas day.
Clear out. It's clear, isn't it?
Yeah.
I still live with my sister Nicola and my brother Franklin. We grew up in a big house in the country, with everything kids could possibly want.
Yeah, this is my wife. And this is my baby boy in here.
Dad was fun to be around, always joking and making an arse of himself.
That is disgusting, Daddy.
You know what I mean?
He was so naughty, wasn't he?
It's weird seeing Dad like this because I never really... I can never remember Dad like this.
Our whole family life has been changed by our dad's bipolar, also known as manic depression. At times, my dad's been so manic he hasn't known who he is. And at other times, he's been so depressed he can barely get out of bed.
I don't really think I've grasped what is my dad and what's his illness yet. I don't think Nicola or Franklin have either. But at least me and my sister sort of got to know the real dad and the normal dad for a little short time.
Just to make sure you look after the kids, look after mummy, yeah, and look after the baby.
Unfortunately, Franklin's been born into my dad's illness, and he hasn't ever seen my dad normal. And it's sad that for the son that he so wanted, the bipolar takes that all away, I think. Because he doesn't know how to be a dad. He can't be a dad when he's ill.
Frank Bruno arrived back in Britain today after his crushing defeat at the hands of Mike Tyson.
My dad's career came to a sudden end in 1996. He'd been the world heavyweight champion for just 6 months. He was defeated by Mike Tyson in a fight that left my dad's eye badly injured. Doctors told him he risked going blind if he ever fought again.
I'm just here to say that I'm officially retired, and the door's going to be open for me to spend more time with my family, you know, be a father.
But retirement hit Dad and our family hard. Everything soon spiralled out of control.
One of this country's best-loved sportsmen, Frank Bruno, is in a mental hospital tonight.
It's believed the boxer, who was escorted from his home in Essex last night by police and paramedics, has been sectioned under the Mental Health Act.
In September 2003, after months of erratic behaviour, my dad was committed to a psychiatric hospital for the first time. I was just 16.
It just sent our family up in turmoil, really, because a celebrity hadn't ever been sectioned, so the hype it caused with the press, We were hounded all the time. They were literally camped outside our house.
41-year-old Frank Bruno now faces his most difficult bout.
The former world champion has been committed while his state of mind is assessed.
It took 9 hours to get him actually in the ambulance. I think he did get a bit aggressive, and the police officers tripped him up to inject him. It was sad because he was like a child. He was begging us not to do it.
Behind the darkened windows, Frank Bruno's family arrive at the hospital. Bruno is finally getting the help so many had urged him to seek.
10 years on, I'm revisiting the hospital where my dad was locked up to try and understand more about what happened.
I don't know if you remember this door.
Yep, I do,
because this would be probably the door that you would have...
This is what the
come
door...
to the actual ward.
Yeah, my dad, on the other side,
Yes.
that's where all the patients and him would wait when we'd have to exit. But I do think we went through... we used to go through that door. Because obviously there was quite a lot of press here at the time, so we had to avoid them.
This is Picasso ward, as was.
Okay, yeah.
Sort of day area.
I remember that. I remember we had a chat in here, and that used to be the smoking room, I think, before the smoking ban. That was when my dad tried to set my sister up with one of the patients in there.
Oh, really? Sounds like you've got very clear memories.
I have now, yeah.
What were the sort of questions in your mind that you were thinking about?
Actually, at the time, I had no clue what bipolar was. I had no clue really what was happening to my dad. I just thought he'd had a breakdown or lost it or something. And also, from seeing him so sedated, I didn't think he'd actually come back from that.
This is the area to which someone will be brought when they're brought by the police.
Yeah.
Under what's called Section 136 of the Mental Health Act.
Why would someone with bipolar need to be sectioned?
There's a huge variety of severities of this condition. They might be overactive, have all sorts of grandiose or unfeasible plans and schemes. And because there's a loss of judgment, the person will typically not necessarily realise that they're unwell and needing treatment. Sometimes the only way then to persuade or to get the person to have adequate treatment is to take away their freedom and detain them, section them.
What behaviour led up to your dad being sectioned?
He had a massive boxing ring that he fought in. He put that in his garden and slept in it. He was walking around our local high street with no shoes on. When we'd go and visit him, he had loads of incense and he'd be whiffing them around everywhere. He'd hear voices, he thought he was other people at times. He was acting really strange. At that time, I didn't really understand why they were taking my dad away. I didn't know that when I'd see him next, he'd be a zombie, crouched over a seat and couldn't really speak, or even lift his head to give us a kiss goodbye. That was really heartbreaking.
I know how hard it was for me at the time, but I want to find out what it was like for my sister Nicola, as she was the one who had to sign the papers to have Dad sectioned.
How old was you?
20.
Yeah, and you had to sign Dad in, didn't you?
I did, because obviously I was his next of kin, because as him and Mum were divorced. And obviously it's horrible, because you don't want to see your dad having to go into hospital, but that was the last resort. We all said at that time we was going to agree we wouldn't tell him who signed the papers, and I think, so I don't know who told him, but somebody told him that I signed him in, and he was just very hostile towards me. He was looking at me like he just wanted to kill me.
It affected your relationship with him for quite a long time, didn't it?
He didn't start talking to me properly or having any, interest in me probably till I was about 28. He always made it feel that, oh, I can't have a laugh with Nicola because she may get me sectioned.
Do you feel guilty anyway?
It made you feel guilty as soon as you did it, but I just have to be strong and just say I did it for the right reasons. Just where would he be now if he wasn't sectioned?
Exactly, I don't think he...
Would he be alive?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Would he have anything left to his name? Would he be wrapped round a tree because of the way he drives? Would someone else have hurt him because of the way he was antagonising people? What would have happened?
Yeah.
Because he's invincible. When he's manic, he's invincible. He's dominated my whole life for 12 years. 12 years he's dominated it, just for me worrying about him. But I have to be honest, he's not worried about me. He's not worried about how my life is going. He doesn't care. But at the end of the day, I love my dad and I'll never stop loving him. But if I ever got ill, would he do the same for me? But I don't do it for him to do it for me.
But you know what? I'm proud of you for taking on that responsibility and all these years. I couldn't be as strong as you.
Although Dad has told me I can ask him anything, I'm still nervous of his moods and I don't want to push him or make him angry. So I'm going to meet someone who might be easier to talk to.
Come on in, let's get a sweat on. May the best man win.
Dave Sheen has bipolar.
That's a really good one, Dan. Life's all about focus.
He's the same age as my dad, is divorced and has 3 kids just like our family.
Hello, I'm Rachel.
It's a left-hand shake. I've broke my right hand.
Oh, I won't grab it then.
You're very pretty, aren't you?
Oh, thank you. So how old are you then? 40. You're 40? And then you're about the same age when my dad was first sectioned. You're about the same age as I was. Can you describe your dad as a person?
He's very loving, very generous, but a bit short-tempered at the same time.
Yeah. So how's your dad to you today? Do you think he's like level today?
Yeah, he seems to be happy, aren't you?
Yeah, he seems happy to me.
You only see me when I'm happy. I never show him really when I'm down.
Oh, do you not?
Love you. See you soon, all right?
See you later.
See you soon. Seems funny letting them walk away.
Did you get sad?
Yeah.
Don't like it?
No, I don't know. Listen, you know what makes me happy?
What? Music.
But this type of music, you know, it's like reggae music, never fails to make me happy. A bit of this.
I will dream about the days to come when I won't have to leave you alone.
Dave was a successful businessman and multi-millionaire until his diagnosis 6 years ago.
So we're in a high-end at the moment. Have you always driven this sort of car?
I've only had it for about 2 months. I didn't have a car, I didn't have no money.
And when you did have money, what cars did you have?
I've had every Mercedes ever built. I used to pick the kids up from a different car every time at school.
Really?
Yeah. I only used to ever wear designer clothes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you think your bipolar helped you become successful?
100%.
What's that, 100%?
100%, yeah. Because he gives you the drive. That's what he does, he drives you. He drives you insane in the end, but he actually drives you to get what you want. If you want something, you'll get it.
So where are we going, Dave?
We're going to go back to the barn conversions that I built, and then I want to show you.
Is this where you lived with your
wife,
my
kids, yeah.
Your ex-wife and kids?
That's right, yeah. That was the first one I'd done. There's a farmhouse. That's sold to 2 footballers, these are.
But you used to own all this?
Yeah, I own a lot, yeah. I mean, realistically, I had enough to retire on. I think, well, how did I lose that? You know,
Why did you?
How mad is it to try and work and earning to get it, and then...
And what was the reason why you lost that?
I just had a breakdown. Home sweet home.
So which one's your one?
The posh one with the black blinds, matching blinds.
Home now is a 1-bedroom council flat.
Right in. Cook. Clean, look.
Oh, yeah, that is clean.
Right.
That is good.
Coffee.
You've got all the essentials, haven't you?
Yeah. Everything in here has been given me.
Has it?
Washing machine, cooker, fridge, microwave.
It's nice, though.
Now, come on, Rachel.
No,
it ain't nice. Be honest. It ain't nice.
No.
Like my dad, Dave's been prescribed drugs for his mood swings.
I'm not a snob.
But he's decided to stop taking them, just like my dad has done in the past.
Why aren't you on medication?
I've tried it there, though, you remember. I tried tablets for 3 or 4 years. When I was on the tablets, it didn't make me go out and go to the shops, right?
Right.
It didn't make me shave. It didn't make me wash. I've been in bed for about a month, 2 months at a time. I was just like a zombie. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, when I feel really bad, I do start back on my tablets.
Yeah.
So if I went that bad when I thought I was going to do one of them, I would go back on my tablets.
Yeah.
But, you know...
What do you mean, do one of them?
Hang myself and think, I don't know. You know, you don't know, do you?
No.
Because, I mean, you get suicidal thoughts all the time.
Yeah.
And your dad must get it as well.
I've never. He's never.
He probably would never tell you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell my children.
Yeah.
Because what that'd be really hard. And when I do get them, that's what I think about. I think, well, what would they say?
Yeah. How do you feel that your relationship with your kids has been affected by bipolar?
Because I feel like I haven't got the money to do anything with them. I don't do it. It affects me because I think, I'm fat, or I was fat. It affects me because I feel low. And you know what? Even though my own kids, and I don't want to say this, sometimes I don't want to see them. It's not because I don't want to see them. It's because I don't feel like I can't think of anything to say to them. It must affect them to see what they used to have to what they have today. Because I used to be, everybody loves Dave. Everybody loves their dad. He'd be the funniest one in the pub. He'd have plenty of mates around him. It was an exciting life. There's always people at the house. And all of a sudden, I'm not the centre of attraction.
Well, it was lovely meeting you.
Spanish. Can we have a Spanish kiss?
I've heard Dave's side of things, but now I want to find out how his kids feel about having a bipolar dad.
Hello, you right?
He seems quite manic at the moment, and obviously my dad can be like that at times. And do you find that hard to be around him when he's like that? Just because he's quite all over the place, isn't he?
Yeah, like a bit loud and a bit jumpy.
But does that upset you, or?
It really upsets me.
I'm just used to it. I am. He's just always like that.
Does that make you sad?
A little bit, yeah.
I wouldn't want Dad to be here and I have my friends around or anything, because in a way I'm kind of embarrassed to be next to him.
Because some of the stuff do you find some of the stuff he says when he's manic a bit embarrassing?
Yeah, it's I wish he wasn't like how he is. I wish he was just a normal dad, and was how I see other people's families when I'm out.
That's how I kind of see my dad sometimes. It's not normal, this illness they've got, is it?
Yeah.
I think for teenagers, you've got to get over the embarrassment. It's understandable. You're going through that age, certain age, where you're trying to fit in and be cool with your friends, and it's not something you want to shout about and be like, oh yeah, hey, this is what's going on. When I was a teenager, it took me a long time, I think up until the age of my 20s, to be able to actually be open and talk about my dad's illness to people. He's quite comical, Dave was. He likes to laugh about his illness. But he said that sometimes he feels suicidal when he could hang himself, and that was quite hard to listen to because my dad's never said that to me before. But my dad living on his own, I wouldn't want him to ever feel that low and like Dave has and think about suicide. That's not nice. Hello? Hello? Hi Dad, you alright? Yeah, we went and met a family in Birmingham, and the dad with bipolar. It was quite interesting. Yes, so I'm just on the train now. How are you? Yeah, I'll give you a call when I get home anyway. Okay, Dad, speak soon. Bye, bye-bye. He seems well. He does actually, he seems quite chirpy.
Dad was officially diagnosed with bipolar 10 years ago, but it's hard to know when it really began. Looking back, I can see there were moments in my childhood when he would go over the top. He hired a helicopter for my brother Franklin's christening and Heart FM DJs for my birthday. Now, I don't know if that was Dad being manic or whether it was just him enjoying his fame and fortune.
You know what I mean, Harry?
I'm not Harry.
I have to be honest, I don't think I've ever had a clue what's going on inside my dad's head. So I'm hoping psychiatrist Dr. Mark Salter can help me understand.
Manic depression, it's an illness like any other illness. But if you want to go a bit further and deeper into that, you've got to ask yourself, what would your brain do all day long? I mean...
Think.
Tell me about it, but it doesn't just think, does it?
No.
Think's a good one. It's the top of... You might say that's the icing on the cake, like the cherry on top sort of thing.
Yeah.
It feels, OK? It remembers. We tend to know that emotion a memory are stored in what we call the bottom bits of the brain. Down here is the drive, that I'm going to win, I'm going to be successful. Down here is the moodiness bits. Down here is the horny bits, I feel like getting laid. Down here is the bit that craves, I feel like a load of Charlie, I feel like a beer, I feel like a spliff. Down here is the memory, I remember last time I had Charlie, I felt fantastic, I'll do it again. And that, of course, sends a signal up to the thinking bit, ring the dealer, score. Or alternatively, last time I exercised, Olympic levels of fitness, I felt fantastic. That sends a signal, do it again, go to the gym. So can you see how your mood changes your thinking, and your thinking changes your mood? The chemical side of treating manic depression seems to be about stabilising or preventing major mood swings, or if you like, emotional storms, from welling up from these parts of the brain. That emotion you see at the bottom of the brain pushes ideas out of you when you're manic. It gives you so much energy. It's almost as though when you're high, there's a kind of a disinhibition of all your raw desires and instincts. You know, people don't need to sleep. They've got fantastic energy. And that makes them choose to think confident things. You're in someone's face, you're talking really, really quickly, you're all over the place, and you're getting rhymes and puns, and it's like a piece of happy music that won't stop, for God's sake.
It's this look when he's manic, it's quite scary.
Stare, isn't it? What is a stare? A stare is looking in the eye too much.
It's like that, and it's like the big eyes, and it's scary, it's intimidating.
Does what I'm saying make sense?
It does, yeah.
Okay. Having a brain means having a mind, means having a personality. Everything that's happened to your dad has made him uniquely him. And boy, has he lived a life.
I wonder whether it's obviously retiring as well hasn't helped, and I suppose being so regimented throughout his whole life and his career.
Those experiences of focus, discipline, drive, excellence, and not to mention all the glory and the worship you got, when it falls apart through a retina injury and retirement and stuff, and
then marriage and everything,
everything else that fell apart, that is a huge shock for some people.
Yeah.
And so I can really understand your dad having a really, really hard time. Life kicked him in the teeth, literally, because everything he knew that meant something to him was kind of taken away from him in a way.
Yeah.
It's impossible to say whether celebrity was caused by his mania or the other way around. The mania, was part and parcel of his celebrity.
Yeah.
What it is fair to say is that by being a celebrity, it was definitely increased risk. Rewinding right back to before your dad became unwell, was there moodiness in him then?
Yeah, he'd lock himself away in his bedroom. When I looked at old videos, he's either really manic, come on doing extravagant things, really manic, or really down.
Yeah, let's do some of me and Rach.
Is it filming at the moment?
It's fresh, yeah. Fresh.
God, it's really funny seeing someone that famous in this sort of context. Yeah.
I think that's why I can't watch home videos. I get sad. I feel sad now watching it.
I bet you do. You must do.
Because I suppose when he lived at home with us, he had a bit more stability and normality, I suppose.
Yes, and you feel like he hasn't got that now. The hardest thing, I think, is to get people really find it hard to handle is that actually it's not their dad anymore. It's an illness that's taken over their dad.
Yeah, but that's the sad thing. When am I going to get my dad back? And that's what is the journey, I suppose, we've got to all go on. I don't really feel like I've had my dad for a lot of years.
Yeah, possibly since he was a very little girl. Maybe you don't know who your dad is yet. That's the thing. You haven't met him properly.
I know who Frank Bruno is.
No, so does everyone, but it's different for you. Do you think he thinks he's failed you a lot?
I think in a way. I think I just try and pretend everything's going to be fine all the time. But I just...
Well, hang on, it might be. I'm not saying fine all the time, because your dad's got a really nasty illness, but there's no reason why you can't have good times. The very fact your dad is still in touch with you, he's going out,
good, and let me do this.
You say in this business, nothing predicts the future like the past. If a person has had illness and come out of it, they will come out of it again. It might sound silly, but each one of your dad's relapses is a chance to learn how to do it better next time. You see, manic depression is not like dementia. It's not an irreversible downward spiralling condition, like you can't hold back the waves, Manic depression, you can bounce back. You've got to hold on to that. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
I'm determined to build bridges between me and my dad. I've decided to run the London Marathon for him and raise awareness about bipolar.
I've always loved running, but 26.2 miles pushes your body to a different level, and my dad's done, I think, about 4 or 5 marathons before, so he knows how hard I've been training and the bottles of wine I've sacrificed.
Go on, Rach! Go on, Rach!
I remember my sports days when I was younger. He was there cheering me on, and I saw him, and I just sprinted, I was gone.
Very good. Well done, Rach.
He is an athlete, and you do want to impress him, and I want to make him proud. I think if he's there, I probably would run faster.
Well done, Rach.
I knew you'd come first.
It will upset me a lot if he doesn't come. I haven't told him that, but to be honest, he should know that.
When my dad was recovering after being sectioned the first time, we'd sometimes go to the spa to spend time together.
You all right?
You all right?
Looking well.
Yeah.
I've asked Dad if he'd like to do this again. I'm hoping it will make us both more relaxed and Dad might be able to open up to me.
It's so nice to eat healthy.
Mm.
Are you sure you're right? 'Cause I'm going to keep asking you this because I'm just... But you're fine with me filming today.
Rach, if I weren't fine, I would tell you. I swear to God, I would tell you. And you know what I mean? You know I'm not short in coming forward. Ask me whatever you want to ask me.
Just want to know what it feels like to be... What goes on when you're, like, manic and stuff?
I don't know what goes on when you're manic, you know what I mean? The chemicals in your body will make you react differently.
Like, do you know, like, because do you sleep?
Sometimes I don't sleep.
And how do you control that? How do you can you bring yourself down?
You mean bring yourself down from sleeping? Yeah.
Like, watch.
I haven't been manic for ages, Rach, you know what I mean? I don't get
but
high.
You must remember, like, when you have been, what it feels like, or do you not?
I don't know, you know what I mean? I have to explain it, you know what I mean? Sometimes when you get a high, sometimes you're rushing and you're like tripping over yourself, you know what I mean? I mean, your brain, you're speedy more than you should be speedy. Yeah. Then you may lose control.
Okay.
You're high as normal human beings. Sometimes if you had a good day, or if something happened to you and you're high, ain't you?
I'm high for you.
What, is that, should you be sectioned if you're high?
Obviously, bipolar is a different kind of high. Yeah. It's off the Richter scale. Right. I can get hyper, but I know when I get a headache, I know when to calm myself down.
Yeah.
Do you accept that you're ill now?
So?
Do you accept that you've got bipolar for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I do accept I've got bipolar for the rest of my life, but I don't accept that every minute that, you know what I mean, if I do something crazy, that someone can send someone around my house to get me sectioned. I don't accept that at all. Don't accept that one little bit.
Well, the only thing I'm, like, struggling to is that I don't think doctors and police would put you in hospital if they didn't feel like you needed to be there, would they? Yeah. Remember in New York, you bought tracksuits. Like, God knows how many tracksuits.
True.
Yeah, you can't just buy one. You can't just buy one. I think you came home with, like, 10 suitcases or something. Ridiculous. You gave me a suitcase. And I then filled that up.
I don't think it was 10 suitcases. It was about 4.
Did you know the fairy lights you got in your car? Were they on a good day? Or the fairy lights you have in your car?
The Christmas lights?
The disco lights.
I just got them because I see someone had them in their car. It was as good. Is that a bipolar thing? Is that against the law to have something like that?
No, I'm just asking you.
If you've got dice hanging up in your car, you've got to be sectioned because you've got a dice hanging up in your car? I just bought them because it was a nice little thing.
Okay. I feel really good, actually. I feel my dad's been really open, and I felt like I didn't have that connection with my dad because I couldn't even ask him what tablets he's on or how he's feeling because I was scared that he'd just be like, right, you're disowned, you're not my daughter anymore. But now I've actually got past this hurdle
I think I'm feeling more positive about our relationship now.
Are you scared?
Yeah, very scared. Yeah, very scared. Hit him with the dumpling punch.
What's a dumpling
the
punch?
right hand.
What, the...
Yeah, the right hand. Yeah, that's it. You see the feel of the power.
You do, actually. That is the moneymaker, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, doing the rest.
Yeah.
You hear from the old boyfriend?
No, nothing. He was a whirlwind and he got my hopes up for no reason. Even Nicola said everyone was shocked when he just turned around out of nowhere and said, "Oh, I just don't really think I'm in love with you." That's random.
Yeah. Relationships, Rach.
I know, I just think, what? I'm not cut out for them anymore.
Yeah?
I don't think I'm cut out for them anymore.
What, relationships?
Yeah. I think they've lowered the dosage of his medication. He seems more aware of what's going on. He's not so tired and drowsy. I think this is good. This is good, Dad. Right now.
Dad seems to be getting on top of his illness, but I know it's staying on top that's the hard bit. I want to meet someone who's learned to really manage their bipolar and live a relatively normal life.
Hello, my love, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Come on through. Welcome to the place where dreams become reality.
Paul Skates has the same severe bipolar as my dad, and yet is able to run his own business planning parties and weddings.
I go above and beyond my call of duty. I have been known in the past to live with a couple for a week, to get to know their personality so that I can then inject that into their wedding.
Paul was officially diagnosed 3 years ago, but he believes his bipolar was triggered by traumatic events in his teens.
I unfortunately, through a so-called friend of the family, was abused for many years, and I believe that's what kicked it off for me. So it's been quite a journey.
Yeah.
But I actually, although it was horrible at times, I wouldn't change it for the world to a certain degree because it's made me who I am.
Do you think having bipolar helped you with your career?
People buy me first, and then they buy what I can do afterwards. So I think because of my natural gregarious nature, which is my personality, but I think probably maybe the bipolar might assist it along its way, it's helped me no end. Because people can feel my passion, they can see it. It's a drug.
Yeah.
It's addictive. It's a natural drug, admittedly. But you want to keep going.
Yeah.
You want to get higher sometimes. You want to be even more excitable. And then you look around and you think, oh, God, they're bored. You know, because you're just so passionate and you've got so much energy and everything is achievable. I mean, I think it's absolutely paramount, like you are with your father and stuff, to have support networks around you. I think without my family and friends, I don't know where I would have ended up.
Paul has invited me for lunch so I can meet his family and his boyfriend Rob.
When did you first tell him that you had bipolar?
I'll let Rob explain. It was by default.
He didn't, because we'd actually come back from a weekend away and I was unpacking our weekend bag and I found some tablets. And obviously, you know, pill sleeves make that distinctive rattling sound, that crinkly sound. And he was only in the bathroom, so he heard.
I was like, why did I let him go in the bag?
Oh, I unpacked it myself.
Because we'd only been together, what?
A month.
A month?
When you found out Paul had bipolar, did you have any doubts when you found out?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, I did. There was a time when we first got together that I actually did consider getting out of the relationship because I thought, well, I understand the condition. Am I strong enough to cope with it? In our formative stages of our relationship, Paul did have a couple of highs, and when you try and bring someone down, when you try and force someone down from a high, it's very difficult. It is very difficult, and he has in the past said some pretty hurtful, quite damning things to me, but I know that's not him saying it.
I know, my dad's done it a lot of times, and I take it personally, but you have to remember it's not
I did
them.
to begin with. That's one of the
them.
reasons why I considered getting out, because I thought, my God, this person's horrible. The way he described it to me, it was like realising you've got a winning lottery ticket and someone taking it off of you. You will do anything to keep hold of that winning sensation.
Yeah.
In actual fact, if Paul didn't have bipolar, I think he'd be pretty dull.
Are you driving out or not?
He doesn't want to be left out of it, does he?
No.
He wants to
So it's all about me.
It is.
Paul and Rob have moved in with Paul's mum and dad. It's an arrangement that works for all of them.
Well, not only is Paul bipolar, my husband is bipolar. Their illness affects them both.
How do you find living with a son and a husband having bipolar?
If I'm honest, really hard. I cope better, actually, and I know it sounds awful, with the lows.
I know my dad's safe.
Yeah.
When he's low.
Yeah.
In a way, because he'll be at home. And
yeah, doesn't move out the chair. I have to tell him to drink, eat, sleep. The only downside for the lows is if they're suicidal, because then you feel that you can't leave them. The highs, you're just not aware half the time till the police turn up on your door, or, you know...
Is that what actually you've had that?
Oh, I mean, Norman's gone off and disappeared, and we not know where he is, and he hadn't known where he is,
Or what his name was or anything.
I get really angry sometimes with Norman. You know, he looks like my husband and he sounds like it, but I've got an alien stood there, you know, and I can't, I don't know if you get it with your dad, but I can't reach him.
We all need the clinical side of things, but actually it's your family and friends, if you're fortunate enough to have them, that are the make or break. They don't have an ulterior motive. All they care about is my wellness.
The key thing that I think that's helped is belonging to a support group, to talk to other people who are living the experience.
We've all gone to the groups together. It's amazing just how open some people can be. You know, the more you know, the more you can deal with it.
What Paul Skates and his family said makes sense. And it's got me thinking about my sister, Nicola.
Hello, Daddy. Good luck for the fight, and I love you, and I hope to see you soon.
Of all us kids, Nicola has borne the brunt of Dad's illness. Since the age of 12, she's tried to hold the family together. First through my parents' divorce, then, as my dad's next of kin, she was the one who signed the papers to have him sectioned. I found a local self-help group for bipolar sufferers and their families, and I've decided to take my sister along.
Hello. I'm Rachel.
I'm David. Hi, Rachel.
Hiya. Hello.
So, does anyone want to start at all?
I do feel like I don't have as much as a social life as I should at my age, because I feel like it's my responsibility to be there looking after Mum. I feel like I'm not being a teenager, I feel like I'm a parent.
Can I broach the subject of being sectioned?
Losing my mum was the worst. It took me so long to build back that relationship with her, and I did feel blamed. My mum would turn around and say, "Oh, look what you've done to me," and I hadn't done anything. All I tried to do was help. But
I think that you are a fantastic daughter. Yeah, an absolute fantastic daughter.
I just think what you said is really nice to hear, because I'm sure everyone here can relate, but when someone turns around and says that to you after everything you've done, it makes a difference, because I'm sure you two can relate. You don't feel like you're ever doing enough.
No, you never think
And you won't ever get that from them, will you?
You
You
never
won't ever get,
have
I'm
thank
proud,
you.
or thank you very much.
I've never had a thank you.
I had 2 breakdowns last year, and it does still affect me to this day every so often, but this time I've now had to just block it out.
I said from last year that she now has to look after herself, because I don't want to lose my sister like I did last year, and that's what makes the anger comes out of me, because she just, you could have potentially lost your new relationship, and that's because of the stress of my dad and his illness has put on her. And I said, you've got to get a point, you're 30 years old now, you're going to be having kids of yourself soon, and you can't go through this again.
How does a person with bipolar want to be treated?
I think I want to be treated as Paul with bipolar rather than suffering from a disease. I don't want to let my disease take over my life.
Yeah.
I felt initially I was living in a goldfish bowl,
Right,
under observation.
Yeah.
If Dad tells a joke and he's laughing too much, that maybe is going high.
Someone asks you a question, what would be the one thing that you don't want them to ask you about your bipolar?
Ask me?
Yeah.
I don't have any restrictions.
Right. For instance, my one would be, are you still taking your medication? I don't like that at all. For me, it's a kind of trust thing.
Yeah. Oh, she
so
trusts you.
they don't trust me. We'll end it there. I just want to thank you all for coming. Brilliant discussion and a safe journey home.
Thank you.
It's a big step tonight.
I feel like it is. I feel like I've got a new Thursday night plan in my diary.
I'd like to come back. I thought, was everybody going to be saying, yeah, my family member's got bipolar and we have the greatest relationship, we get on great, but it's nice to know that everybody hasn't got that fairy tale ending. Yeah. They've got exactly the same unbalanced reality as what we've got.
It seems like for the first time in years we're taking a step forward.
OK, ladies and gentlemen, now for your very, very special guest, a young man who is known as Britain's best loved sportsman ever, Mr. Frank Bruno!
And Dad is making progress too. He's well enough to get back to work, making public appearances.
There's a stigma with a breakdown and a mental illness, Frank, and you suffered that, especially in your early days.
Bipolar, you know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but, you know what I mean, it's a very, very... That one touched you, yeah? I think there's a lady in the room today who's got bipolar. I ain't going to mention no names to embarrass her or whatever. But years ago, people used to look at mental health and whatever and cross the road and look at that now. But people are tending to ease off a little bit because it could be their mother, their sister, their brother. It could happen to a teacher. It could happen to a nurse. It could happen to anybody.
That's right, I'm not rushing you, I'm just ringing to see where you are, just to check.
I'm beginning to realise it's important to just spend time with Dad. No more questions about bipolar. So I've arranged to meet him to do some shopping and help him out with a few things.
I was getting passport.
Rach?
Yeah?
Chris, take
look.
Chris, yeah. Sorry.
You got to look there and then, yeah?
Right.
He's getting a new photo for his driver licence. Got to sort his driving licence out.
Rach?
Yeah.
What have you got to do now?
Your photo may not come. Oh, that's why.
What?
You're not allowed to smile.
Not allowed to smile?
No, not for passport.
No?
No.
You'll definitely feel the spring when he's there.
Oh, will I?
I'm hoping Dad will help me choose some trainers for the marathon.
Do you reckon they're really bright, aren't they?
Rachel's comfort. You got to go for comfort rather than no matter what colour they are.
When my dad is manic, he can't stop shopping. But today, like most dads, he's bored.
Do you reckon you'll come and watch me do the marathon?
I'm not too sure, you know.
Why?
I'm not too sure. I might do if they're not busy.
I'm running it for you, so you better frigging make yourself free, you know?
Yeah.
Why are you not coming to the marathon, Dad? Why might not you come? No, why might not you come?
I'm not too sure, Rachel. I might be busy. I'm not too sure.
Well, my Dad was a bit quiet. I think quieter than usual today, and I think he wanted to get away quick. But I'm used to that. He's always kind of like that, which is a bit of a shame. So I didn't want to press too much. But it was nice for him to come and get them trainers with me, really. Just hope he comes and watches the marathon now, because he still seems a bit unsure about that.
Now, when you get old, you'll be watching this, and what would you be thinking when you get old? Would you be saying, "Oh my God"?
Oh, that's me when I was younger.
Making this film is raking up a lot of emotions for me, and it's forcing me to think about my own life. If I'm honest, one of my deepest fears is that I'm going to get bipolar too.
Some days I do get really low and I'm like, oh, I can't bother to get out of bed, or I can't bother to go to the gym. And even from recently looking at old family videos, I've always been this hyperactive, in-your-face kind of person.
If I'm quite stressed, I've got a lot of things going on at one time, I do wake up in the night. I even ran into my bedroom door. And my mum heard the bang, and then I went into my sister's room and I could not slow my heart down. Couldn't get it under control. I know there are stats that say you're 10 times more likely to get bipolar if you've got a parent who's got it. And that really preys on my mind. I think there was someone in Dominica on his dad's side who had a history of mental illness. Some people in his family, I think, have got something, but I don't know what form of bipolar or what they've got, I don't know. I know now from speaking to people and obviously doing this documentary that it can be triggered by something. So that is quite worrying in the future. I don't want to ever have to go through something really hard in life and then suddenly I've got bipolar. I'm on my way back to visit psychiatrist Mark Salter. I need him to be completely straight with me about the risks.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Your risk of being vulnerable to bipolar disorder is significantly up. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. That is to say that, you know, you've inherited a genetic vulnerability to it. But remember, genetics is not the same as destiny. Just because you've got the gene doesn't mean to say you've got the condition. You'll hear an awful lot of things talked, especially on the internet, where you get some quite sensationalist people that say that it's 10 times greater risk. But that's not 10 times greater chance of getting the illness, because, remember, genetics is only one small part of the story. It's the life you live, it's the things you do, it's kind of the, if you like, the stuff that happens to you. Rachel, have you had repeated blows to the head since the age of 15, day in, day out?
No, I haven't. No.
Have you found yourself catapulted into fame? Or having a cocaine dealer just a phone call away any time you wanted it? And then you probably had more love in your life and stability in your life than your dad did.
Yeah, he did, because obviously his dad died when he was young. He went to boarding school. I've definitely been around a more loving family, my family.
Now, those things are
up.
protective.
Yeah.
So much of what we've been talking about is about not, you know, being this fragile person who could crack at any moment, but by doing and living a life that makes you strong. It's not like you've got high risk tattooed across your forehead because of what's in your DNA.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with having intense moods.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not...
you know,
it's...
You're young, you're clever, you're beautiful, you've got the whole world ahead of you. And you are, because of those things, going to have a bit of a roller coaster in your life. I hope
and down,
so.
yeah.
And, you know, let's face it, anyone whose life isn't a bit of a roller coaster isn't living.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
A bit boring, really.
Absolutely. Good luck to you.
See you later. Thank you very much.
Take care, Rachel.
Take care.
Have fun.
Yes, I will.
I've learned a lot about bipolar these last few months, and I feel it's time to share some of my experiences with Dad.
I didn't realise how important it was for me to do this, because when I first started it, I felt really angry, but I didn't know why.
Angry?
Just because you were ill and I couldn't help you, and you just come out of hospital. I thought, oh, I've lost my dad again. Is he going to come back around? And I kept saying, I want an apology. I want a sorry, because sometimes some of the stuff you could say when you've been manic, but you can't remember it, can be quite hurtful.
Yeah.
But I feel like stupid to focus on that apology and get so upset about it when really...
What apology for me?
Well, no, yeah, because sometimes, like, you could be a bit aggressive or just shout, but it wasn't you. I find it easier to deal with the fact that you've got this the rest of your life, and I'm always going to be here to support you. And I've just got to trust you now. And I didn't realise... So one guy said he hates his kids asking him, how you feeling, have you taken your medication today?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to ask you that, should I, really? It's not...
But what's wrong with asking me that?
No, but I just think I should trust you and just be like, well, OK.
Yeah.
It's something you've got to do, isn't it?
Yeah. At the end of the day, the law states I ain't got to take the medication. It's me taking the medication for my own good, you know what I mean?
That is... I actually didn't think I'd ever hear you probably say that.
What's that?
That you got to take the medication for your own good.
Yeah, I've got to take the medication for my own good, you know what I mean?
I think
you just got to get on with life, you know? There's much more worse things people's got than bipolar.
I know.
You know?
I love the way you call it bipolar as well.
Yeah.
Would there be anything you'd want us kids to do differently?
No, not really. Really at all. You know what I mean? I wish you could ring a little bit more about you've got your lives and whatever, but it's no biggie small. I try and ring, but, you know what I mean? I'm not really a ringer, really.
No.
No, I should have rang you more last year, but I never could cope with you being ill. When I see you like that, it makes me sort of back off because I'm like, I'm scared. But now, it's like, it's not so scary because I know about it.
Yeah.
I know what you're going... Well, I don't know physically what you're going for. I just know what you kind of need. You just got to be there.
Yeah.
I'd love for you to end up with a lady here, move in, like someone to take care of you.
Say it again?
I'd love for you to have a woman.
I don't think I could move in with a lady, to be quite honest. You know what I mean? I could, you know what I mean?
Imagine being an old man, like really, like when you're getting older, you need to have some company. She should make you cakes in the kitchen.
Cakes?
Yeah, she make cakes. She can make you Sunday roast.
I can look after myself, you know what I mean? I don't want to be a burden.
You're not a burden at all.
Nice one. Take it easy.
I'll text you when I get home, say.
All right. Look after yourself. See you later. Take it easy.
Says 26.2 is your bitch. Go Racky B. How you feeling, Mum? Are you nervous?
I am, yes. Rather you than me.
Really? I've been training for this for ages now, so I just want to get there and hopefully make everyone proud and finish it.
Is your dad definitely coming?
Yeah, he's definitely coming. He's going to be at the finish line. He just rang me and wished me luck, so he'll be there. So it's good that I've got everyone here that loves me.
Good luck.
Run with me. You're going to be amazing. You'll be amazing.
Boss, well done, boss, well done. Hello there, well done, man, well done. Barefoot, no, you're joking, I can smell the cheese. My daughter's running the race for mine, so I'm just coming to support her as a dad.
Fantastic, how did you get on today?
I'm not too sure anytime now she could be coming in. She's done very well, you know, I'm very proud of her. I love